Dear Professor and faculty member, my name is Sukma Meganova Effendi. I'm a doctoral student in Raja Mangala University of Technology, Tanyaburi. I want to present my homework about kinematics of 3DOF arm robot using the Navid-Hartenberg DH convention. The outcome of this homework is about explanation and design of 3DOF arm robot using the Navid-Hartenberg or DH convention to determine the frame, DH parameter table, and post kinematic or N effector. We can see here this is the 3DOF arm robot, and in the right picture this is after analyze using the Navid-Hartenberg. We can see the frame, and this is in the matrix here. This is the homogeneous transformation matrix. This is about the post kinematics or an effector matrix. The Danavid-Hartenberg or DS convention is a standardized method used in robotics to represent the relationship between adjacent links in a robotic manipulator. It simplifies the complex 3D transformation required to describe the positions and orientations of robot joints. Why we have to use the edge convention? The first is to systematically describe the spatial relationship between consecutive links. The second is to derive the forward kinematics of robotic arms efficiently. And the third is to simplify complex calculation in robotic kinematics. The steps for the edge convention. There are three steps by using the edge convention for determine kinematics of robot. The first is draw the kinematic diagram according to the 4 DH rules. And there are two steps, define joint types, and the B is assign frame to each link. And then the second step is determine the edge parameter table. There are 4 parameters, and in this step, the number of rows is equal with number of frames minus 1 or previous. And the point B is number of columns. Columns is equal 4. 2 columns for rotation and 2 columns for displacement. And the third step is calculate homogeneous transformation matrix. The first step, the point is, this is the draw the kinematic diagram for defined joint types. There are two joint types, the rotational joint, the variable is the joint angle theta, and the prismatic joint, the variable is the link offset D. We can see from this picture, this is the original 3DOF arm robot. This is the joint 1, joint 2, and joint 3. This is the N effector. We can see here the joint types in the joint 1. This is the rotational joint. And for the joint 2 or second joint, this is the prismatic joint. And for the third joint or joint 3, this is also rotational joints. And then for the steps 1B is assign frames to each link. Base frame or frame 0 usually assigned to the robot base. Choose conveniently to simplify calculation. And then the second, attach a frame to each joint following this rule. The first, the z-axis is the axis of rotation or translation for a revolute joint, and the x-axis is perpendicular to the z-axis of both the current and previous frames. The y-axis is determined from the x-axis and z-axis by using the right-hand coordinate system. And the last, the x-axis must intersect the previous z-axis, but this rule does not apply to frame 0. So this is a step for point 1b. For assign frames to its link after define the joint types, rotational, prismatic, and rotational. We can assign the frame for the rotational. This is for the z-axis. This is the rotational of, this is the axis of rotational, and this is the x-axis. This is perpendicular with the z, and by using the right hand coordinate system, we can determine the y, axis y. This is the z, you can see here by using the right hand coordinate system. This is the z. This is the rotational of revolute joint, and this is for the direction of the other forefinger. This is for the x-axis, and for the inside of our palm, of my palm, this is for the determine the axis y. So if the z is here and then x is here, going to there, and then for the y is here. The y is here. And then after that, for the second joint, this is the prismatic. This is also C. C is up, and then in the right direction, in the right, this is for x-axis, because this is perpendicular with C, and also from the previous frame. And then for the y is using right hand coordinate system also. And after that, this is for the third joint. This is rotational. We can see here, this is the z-axis, and this is this x-axis, and this is the y-axis. And the last, this is the n effector. This is the z-axis is aligned with C2, and C2 also aligned with C1, but C1 is in line with C0. We can determine all the frames for all joints by using the previous slide is the rules for determine the z-axis, x-axis, and y-axis. And this is also for the direction of the rotational of this joint. This is the theta 1, and prismatic doesn't have the, because it's not rotational, so this is doesn't have the theta value. And for the third joint, this is the rotational joint type. So this is the angle, the rotational angle is theta 3. And for this linkage or distance from the z-axis, in z-axis, current z-axis here with the compare with the previous z-axis, we have distant value is d2, and also we have the distance difference from x-axis from the current frame to the previous x frame, x-axis frame. We have L1. So we can see later for the value of distance in x-axis. Oh, I'm sorry, distance in z-axis. And this one, we have L2. This is the distance between the x2 and x1, and this is L3. This is the distance between x3 and x2. We can see later for the detail in the TH parameter table. And the second step, this is the determine for TH parameter table. There are four. The first is theta. Theta is the angle of rotation about the z-axis to align the x-axis. For the variable, for the rotational joint, the value is variable, but for the prismatic joint, the value is constant. We can see here, this is the theta. And then for D, the parameter D offset, distance along the z-axis from the previous x-axis to the current x-axis. For the variable, for the prismatic joints is variable, and for rotational joints is constant. We can see here, D is here. This is the distance along the z-axis from the previous x-axis to the current x-axis. And for the parameter A or R, this is the link length or L. This is the distance along the x-axis, from the previous z-axis to the current z-axis. This is always constant. And the last parameter is alpha. This is the twist angle rotation about the x-axis to align the z-axis. This is also always constant. So we can put all the value for every joint for parameter in the TH parameter table. Theta, alpha, R, or A, and the last is D. Then for this case, we can see here, this is after define the joint types and also the frame, assign the frame. So we can determine the TH parameter and put into the table. And for the first column is theta. For the first joint, we can see here the theta is theta 1. And for the second joint, because this is prismatic, is doesn't have the theta value, so this is constant and the value is 0. And for the third join, this is the theta 3. The value of theta in join 3 is theta 3. And then for the second column, this is alpha. Alpha is the twist angle rotation about the x-axis to align the z-axis. So we can see from this previous x-axis, this is the x0, to the current x-axis, this is a line, so the value is 0. And after that, we can see for the second join, between the previous x-axis to the current x-axis here, the value of alpha is perpendicular. X2 is perpendicular with the x1, so the alpha value is 90 degree. And for the last, for join 3, this is the previous x-axis is x2 to the current x-axis is x3. Because this is in line, so the alpha value is 0. And for the third column, for the link length, with the symbol is R or A, this is the distance along the x-axis from the previous x-axis to the current x-axis. We can see here, distance along the x-axis from this is 0 because this is a line, because the x-axis, previous x-axis, from the previous z-axis to the current z-axis is a line, so this is the value is 0. And for the second join, from the previous z-axis z1 to the z2, the distance is L2. And for the third join, the distance from the x2 to the x3 is L3. We can see here. And after that, for the last column is the D, parameter D. This is distance along the z-axis from the previous x-axis to the current x-axis. You can see here we have the value from the z-axis, from the x-axis, x0 to the x1, we have L1 plus D2. Because for prismatic, can move up, move down, and move up. And then after that, for the second join, there are no distance along the z-axis from the x1 to x2, so the value of D is 0. The z-axis is aligned, and also the third joint, for the third joint, this is from the x2 to the x3. This is also in line, so we don't have value for parameter D in third join. This is same with second join. This is also inline. So we don't have value for D in the second join also. And the third step is calculate homogeneous transformation matrix. Before determine homogeneous transformation matrix, the rotation matrix of must be determined first. The rotation matrix is a mathematical representation of the orientation of a robotic system. Rotation matrix transform the coordinate axis X, Y, Z, representing the orientation of a 3D object in one frame to the coordinate axis of another frame. Specifically, when any of the several above move in the robot as the motor, the only rotation you will have is rotation around the Z-axis. And we can see here, this is for the rotation matrix of M and Mn. We can see here, this is for first step to calculate the homogeneous transformation matrix. We determine the rotation matrix first, and then after that, multiply with the rotational matrix from Z-axis because the rotation is only in the Z-axis. Just multiply these two matrix, and for determine the rotation matrix and we have to use this requirement. The first is if an axis is one frame points in the same direction as an axis in another frame, we put in 1 in the cell of the matrix. If an axis Second, if an axis in one frame points in the opposite direction as an axis in another frame, we put -1 in that cell of the matrix. And the third, if an axis is one frame is perpendicular to an axis in another frame, we put a 0 in that cell of the matrix. And then after determine the rotational matrix, when robotic arms moves around in the world, the n effector changes position as well. To account for this change in the position of the n effector, we use what is called a displacement vector. A vector is a list of numbers. In robotics, we typically use 3 numbers, all organized in a single column, to represent displacement. Next, change in position of one frame relative to another frame in x, y, and z direction. We will use following notation to represent the displacement of coordinate frame n relative to the coordinate frame m, like in this equation, this matrix, this equation matrix equation, T or transitional or displacement vector M and matrix 3, 2, 1, matrix 3, 2, 1, this is the first element is displacement transitional of Xn relative to the Xm, and then the second row is displacement transitional of yn relative to y m, and the third element is displacement or translational of Cn relative to the Cm. Once we have filled in the Dennefit-Hartenberg parameter table for our robotic arm, we find the homogeneous transformation matrix, also known as a Dennefit-Hartenberg matrix, by plugging the values into the matrix of the following form, which is the homogeneous transformation matrix for joint N. In example, the transformation from frame n-1 to frame n. Here, homogeneous transformation matrix from frame n-1 or previous frame to frame n. We can see here the matrix is rotational matrix, matrix 3 to 3, and this is the translational or displacement vector matrix. This is matrix 3 by 1, 3 to 1. And this is for the other element is 0, 0 matrix 1 by 2, 3, 1 multiplied 3 by 3. And the last element is 1. And we can see the detail where R is the 3 multiplied by 3 submatrix in the upper left that represents the rotation from frame n-1 to frame n. And T is the 3 multiplied by 1 submatrix in the upper right that represents the transition or displacement from frame n-1 to frame n, like I explained before. And we can use this matrix. I get it from this website. You can see the detailed explanation from determine the rotation matrix, displacement vector matrix from this website, this link. And for the homogeneous transformation matrix from frame n-1 to frame n, we can use this matrix equation. This is the rotational matrix, translational, and this is the 0, and this is the 1. And after that, I use that matrix equation to calculate my 3DOF arm robot from the TH parameter table like shown in this picture, and also by using the trigonometry table. We can use here, we can see only degree of 0 and 90 degree. We can only focus in sin and sinus and cosinus in 0 degree and also 90 degree. So after that, by using this equation matrix, just fill using this DH parameter table for the homogeneous transformation matrix Mn 0, and M is 0 and N is 1. This is for the first joint. We can plug the all value for all 4 parameter value in the join 1. The theta is theta 1, the alpha is 0, the R or A is 0, and the D is L1 plus D2. Just change the value here, the theta, the alpha, and also the R and D. So we can see the homogeneous transformation matrix of first join or M0 and 1. The matrix is like this one. And after that, change the value. We can see here the cos alpha is, the alpha for join 1 is 0. We can change here. But the theta is, we don't know the value, just put with theta 1. And after that, for the R, because there is no value, we can fill with this 0. And for the D1, the value is L1 plus D2. We can fill here. For the D1 is L1 plus D2. And after that, by using this trigonometry table, we can calculate the cos 0 is 1, and then for sinus 0 is 0. Then just change the value by using this table, this trigonometry table, and after that we can get this matrix and then calculate the value, and after that we can see here this is the final homogeneous transformation matrix in join 1 or from 0 to 1. The matrix is cos theta 1 in the first row. The first element is cos theta 1 minus sinus theta 1, 0, 0. And for the second row, from the first element until the fourth element is sinus theta 1, cos theta 1, 0, 0. And for the third row, 0, 0, 1. And the last element, the fourth element of third row is L1 plus D2, and the last row, the fourth row, from the first element until the fourth element is 0, 0, 0, 1. And then repeat again for the homogeneous transformation matrix from 1 to 2. Just change using this table for the join 2, the theta 2. The theta 2 is changed with the 0 because the value, the theta is 0. And then the alpha is changed with 90 degree. And then for the R2, the value is R2. And for the D2, the value is 0. Just change and then calculate, and before find the answer of the cos 90 degree, cos 0 degree, and sinus 0 degree using this table. After that, just calculate it, and the answer of homogeneous transformation matrix of frame 1 to 2 is from the first row until the fourth row, from the first element until the first element in the first column until the last element in the fourth column is 1 0 0 L2, 0 0 minus 1 0, 0 1 0 0 0 0 0 1. Then after that, for the join tree, for the homogeneous transformation matrix from frame 2 to 3, the step is same. Change the value of theta 3, alpha 3, R3, and D3. And after that, we get the homogeneous transformation matrix from frame 2 to 3 is cos theta 3 minus sin theta 3, 0 L3 cos theta 3, sin theta 3, cos theta 3, 0, and L3 sin theta 3, and then 0, 0, 1, 0, and the last 0, 0, 0, 1. Then after we get the three matrix of homogeneous transformation matrix from the previous frame to the current frame, then calculate the final homogeneous transformation matrix for the post-kinematic or n effector is homogeneous transformation matrix from frame 0 to 3 is equal to multiply all the homogeneous transformation matrix for every previous frame to the current frame. From the previous slide, we have three homogeneous transformation matrix from frame 0 to 1, and from frame 1 to 2, and from frame 2 to 3. And the value we can calculate using the principle of multiplying in matrix. We have to multiply for the every element in the row. For like example, for the first row here, calculate every element to the every element in the first column. The first element of first row, first column multiplied by element in the first row and first column plus the element of the first row in second column multiply to element in first column in the second row, and then plus element of the first row in third column multiply with element in the first column third row, and plus first element, last element in the first row in the fourth column multiply with the element of the first column in fourth column, and so on. This multiply with this every element, and the result is the first element of the result from the multiplying every element in here. And then after that, for the every element in the first row, then multiply one by one and plus with every element in the second column, and then the result is right in the second element in the first row, and so on. And after that, after we have the result of this multiplying these two matrix, and then multiply with the third matrix here, and the process is same. And then after that, we can see here, this is the answer of the homogeneous matrix from frame 0 to frame 3. The answer is cos theta 1 multiplied by cos theta 3, then minus sin theta 3 multiplied with cos theta 1, and then sin theta 1, and then cos theta 1 multiplied with L3 cos theta 3 plus L2. For the second row, sin theta 1 multiplied by cos theta 3, then the second element minus sin theta 3 multiplied by sin theta 1, then next element is minus cos theta 1, the next element is sin theta 1 multiply by L3 cos theta 3 plus L2. And for the element in the third row is sin theta 3, next element cos theta 3, next element is 0, next element is L3 sin theta 3 plus L1 plus D2, and the fourth row, the first element is 0, the next element is 0, next element is 0, and the last is 1. This is the homogeneous transformation matrix that determined using Dennavit-Hardenberg convention. That's all that I can explain for the kinematics of 3DOF arm robot using Dennavit-Hardenberg convention. Thank you for watching.